Did you know that we all have a stress personality? And if you don't know what that looks like, feels like, and how it manifests, it could sabotage your personal and professional success. Hello, and welcome back to the Discover Wellbeing podcast. I'm your host, Allison Adams, a holistic health and leadership coach and consultant, helping you thrive in all areas of your life. In this episode, I'll share how stress takes on a personality and can negatively impact us on multiple levels, emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, and in our relationships. I'll be sharing through the lens of Kundalini Yoga, and by understanding how stress manifests in these areas, you'll be able to manage it before it begins to erode your peace, your joy, and ultimately, your vitality. Before I dive into the signs of stress, I want to share a story that dates back 18 years ago when I went through my first yoga teacher training. Part of the certification process was that we had an experience of all the different styles of yoga that they offered. So that would be Hatha, Vinyasa, Yin, Restorative, and Kundalini. I had never had an experience of taking a Kundalini yoga class before. So the teacher's wearing all white, she has a turban on her head. There was breath work, very different than the other styles of yoga. We chanted mantra. We had the sound current that was running through us, and we were in postures, and combining that with the breath and the meditations, it felt more holistic. And from that point on, I was hooked. So I went on to get certified in different yoga lineages, but I went through a yoga teacher training for Kundalini specifically in Bali for 30 days. It was a year-long intensive program that was condensed into a 30-day period. And then we had the rest of the year to fulfill on the requirements. And I also went on to take a level 2 teacher training in stress and vitality. This was a 10-month program, and what I'll be sharing in this episode is a very abbreviated version of everything that is inside of this manual. So consider the manual as this amazing stress and vitality toolbox. I want you to have the visual that stress and vitality you can think of as a coin. They're two sides of the same coin, and they require the same amount of energy. However, it's how the energy is conducted, the prana. It's either fragmented and just kind of chaotic is the stress side that's very destructive, versus where it's condensed and it's generative in a way that is highly focused and optimized. This is vitality. This is where we know that we can tap into our strength, our flexibility, our peace of mind, our joy, all of the things that are going to allow our minds and our bodies and our souls to sync and to get the mission accomplished, whatever that is. And when I say mission, I hold that lightly because it could be allocating an hour of being with a loved one and giving them your undivided, calm, and supportive attention versus feeling really stressed so you're not connected to the person, you're not hearing what they're saying, and they can feel that. That's a transference of energy. The first area, which is emotional. So stress personality, when active, looks like anxiety, frustration. You may have the blues. You may encounter mood swings unrelated to, if you're a female, PMS. You can have a bad temper. You might have nightmares. There might be crying spells, irritability, a sense that no one cares. You might experience depression, a nervous laugh. You worry easily. You might find yourself discouraged, having little joy, and procrastination is front and center. Moving into the mental area, forgetfulness, because our mind is so taxed, you begin to have dulled senses. You experience poor concentration, which relates to low productivity. You might have a negative attitude, confusion, lethargy, a whirling mind, but no new ideas. You might find yourself bored, spacing out, having consistent negative self-talk, repetitious thoughts, so your neural pathways are really getting ingrained in negative self-talk. And then there's also this indecisiveness. On a physical level, there could be appetite change. You're experiencing headaches and tension and fatigue, insomnia. You might find that you're experiencing weight change, colds, pounding heart, muscle aches, teeth grinding, experiencing rashes, restlessness, facial twitching, which is that nervous system not being able to find homeostasis. You might be experiencing poor sleep, digestive upset, nail biting, hair twisting. These are the physical manifestations and the symptoms of a stressed personality. Moving into the spiritual symptoms and signs of your stressed personality, it's that you might be feeling a sense of emptiness, a sense of loss without meaning. Moving into the spiritual characteristics of a stressed personality, the signs and symptoms could be emptiness. You're feeling a loss of meaning, of purpose. You begin to doubt, or doubt is that overriding perspective. You're unforgiving. You may experience martyrdom, looking for magic, loss of direction, even cynicism and apathy. Or you may even need to prove yourself. And lastly, demanding recognition and obsessive rigidity. Now let's move into the last category, which is relational. So these are how a stressed personality would manifest inside of relationship with self and with others. The first is isolation, intolerance, resentment, loneliness. You might find yourself lashing out consistently or hiding or clamming up. You might experience lack of intimacy, lower sex drive, or to the point of just constant nagging and distrust. These are the signs of the stressed personality. The goal of bringing it back to the goal of Kundalini Yoga is to raise our consciousness so that we can actually enjoy, yes, I said enjoy, the constant challenges and changes in life. Instead of trying to control something, we control ourself instead. Instead of reacting to something, we act with the applied intelligence to elevate the situation and serve our consciousness and our soul. We know that AI is front and center, but if you heard just now, I use the word applied intelligence. That's our own human capacity. This is how we have been designed. We have the cosmos within us. We have all of this infinite information being fed into us, so we are able to apply our intelligence in a very different but strategic way. And so this allows us to really manage the stress personality. And stress left unattended and vitality unexpressed makes us our own worst enemy. So Kundalini, in the practices, in the meditations, in the breath work, these are the sources and the skills and the tools that we can use to release the stress, build the strength, cultivate the calm, the grace, and the intelligence so we can become more relaxed in life, in our work, through our challenges and the changes. In that relaxation, we can accept ourselves and tap into our own vitality. This is Raj Yoga. This is Kundalini Yoga. So my invitation is for you to listen to the podcast again, be with someone who you trust and is able to identify a stress personality in you that you might not be able to see. First, recognize for yourself. Secondly, do that with them, because it helps to cultivate awareness, and then you can learn to manage your stress personality and see how it might be or has been negatively impacting the success that you want for yourself inside of these different areas. And I want to restate the goal is to raise our consciousness so we can enjoy the constant challenges and changes in life with the applied intelligence to elevate the situation and serve our consciousness and our soul. So with that, thank you for listening. Much love. Stay well. Are you enjoying the Discover Wellbeing podcast? If so, I would love to hear about it. Leaving a review helps more people find us and really makes a difference. So share your thoughts on Apple Podcast or your favorite platform.